welcome to On Point at Young Professional TV. I am your host, Aisatu Zainab Kamara. On today's topic, we'll delve into a pressing issue affecting the daily lives of Sierra Leoneans on the alarming rise in inflation. Our guest today is a businessman and an economist, Mr. Daniel Fuller.
Thank you for having me.
To start with our discussion, Mr. Fuller, can you help us understand what inflation means and what are we seeing in Sierra Leone today?
Well, in a nutshell, inflation simply means few goods chasing a lot of money, or a lot of money chasing few goods, so on, inversely. And this means that when that happens, you have a lot of money going in for few goods. And this is not good, and you have a lot of implications or ramifications on both those that we who are doing business and those whom we depend as our customers.
So, Mr. Fuller, as a business owner, how is this inflation trend affecting your business and your customers?
Wow, it's a whole lot, but I could just put it on this way. It has ripple effect on our businesses. We doing business, when you have galloping inflation that is moving up and down, and you don't have a systematic way of inflation, you have it difficult. Because let's say you buy goods today, and in 1 week time you buy it at X amount. By the time you go back to buy the goods may have gone up in such a way that if you used to buy 30 items, now you will not be in the position to buy 30, maybe just 20. So it tells a fall down in the amount of goods that you used to buy, and so your business is dwindling gradually. If this trend continues, it affects your business. And for the customers, knowing that we are living in a country where the average Sierra Leonean is living less than $1 a day. And so if things are going up like that, it affects them greatly. If they used to buy 2 items, because the things now are flowing up or the prices are soaring, it simply means they are no longer in the capacity to buy 2 they used to buy. Now, instead, they have to manage and cut down to just buy 1.
Viewers will go for a short break, and when we come back, our guests will deliberate more on the topic. Welcome back, viewers. The program you are watching is On Point at Young Professional TV. Why inflation is on the rise and why is it affecting our citizens, especially young women? So, Mr. Fuller, as a businessman, what do you think that will be done to mitigate inflation?
Well, that's a very big question. We have those things that we can do as a country, and those things that we cannot do, because we have various types of inflation. We have the inflation that is caused internally due to policies, programs, or statements by key personalities or government stakeholders. Such statements, once they are said, they might affect the perception of individuals. And inflation, one that has to do with the perception of individuals, will make people become apprehensive. And once they become apprehensive, business people can either decide to order goods, and once goods are being ordered, it leads to, a hike in price. So when looking at these dynamics, that's why we business people should ensure that we always have a lot in stock, so that we don't have a shortage or a situation where people will perceive that these things will go short in market, and so there is that mad rush which will spark inflation. Also, we are also driven by the thing in Sierra Leone we call the exchange rate. The exchange rate, when it is not stable, it gives us an impetus to increase prices, even when the supply is there. But because we anticipate that the exchange rate is going up up and up. If we don't increase our prices, the time we want to buy, we have to change our money into foreign currency. And so if we don't have that amount of money, we will not be able to have the right amount that we used to buy. And so it will affect our business. So that's why, because of the anticipation of this foreign exchange, it also has an impact on inflation, because we have to increase our prices to meet with the anticipated, exchange rate. So this is one. So for it to be controlled, government needs to do everything possible to control the exchange rate. And this can be done through also government consumption pattern. Maybe how government is using their own thing. If government is embarking on ostentatious goods like vehicles, these expensive things, they go in and bring them on, it's telling on the economy. And because they don't have to buy those things in the foreign currency, they use the local currency, they use foreign currency. And so because they are using foreign currency, there is the mad rush for foreign currency. And once foreign currency, there is a rush for foreign currency, what happens? The local currency will drop automatically. The value for local currency will drop. And once the value for local currency drops, that is also in itself inflation.
Finally, what will be your last word to citizens and business owners in this time of inflation?
Well, for citizens, so let's go in for our needs. Those things that we cannot do without. Those things that we can do without, let us forget about them, so that we can reduce the demand part of the bargain. And so once the demand reduces, prices will stabilize and we will experience deflation. And also for us, the business people, let us also see that we don't hoard prices or goods. Because once we keep goods, we create artificial scarcity. And once that artificial scarcity is done, we will create unnecessary hype in demand. That we have created a situation where people can anticipate for a shortage of goods. And once that happens, people will go in for goods and it will shoot. And also, taxes have also a role to play here. When taxes are increased in a way, we traders, we are paying on behalf of our consumers. And so, in the end, we calculate it as part of our cost. And then, when we have the average cost, we now determine the profit margin. And that is also creating inflation, whereby we have a situation where small amount of, or big amount of money going for smaller goods. So this is also a situation. So we have to ensure that as government, they look at the tax element, because the tax is the burden. The final one that is paying that burden is the average consumer. So let government also look at the way they are putting their taxes, make it a little bit friendly, tax friendly, so that it will not add more burden on the average Sierra Leonean. And also, let us be aware that there is the external factor which we cannot control, that is imported inflation. If where we are taking the goods, already they are experiencing inflation, so bring that on board to our country, and that one we cannot influence. But if we have subsidized system, in some countries, government is subsidizing, and when that subsidy is done, you also see that goods are coming down because government is paying part of that effect. And so goods, we are bound to put goods at a lower rate. But if they are not paying that, like I said, all cost will be put on board, and we have the average cost, and then from there we can determine the profit margin.
Thank you very much for your valuable insights, Mr. Fuller. It's clear that while inflation poses a significant challenge, with effective strategies and collaborations among stakeholders, we can work towards stabilization. Thank you for joining us tonight, and thank you to our viewers for tuning in. Stay safe and see you next time on Young Professional TV.